Okay, welcome to one of the funnest activities in EVE, Planetary Interaction, or PI. We're going to set up a factory planet the best way I know how with level 4 skills. So here's a barren planet in nullsec is where we are, but this will work for any factory planet. We start with a command center, which is here. Again, we want to make sure we get it upgraded to at least here. And we'll start with that. The first thing we're going to do is put down a couple launch pads here for our input materials. And we want to make sure that we get everything as close as we can to each other so that the links don't have to go very far. Pretty much every pixel is a kilometer or so, or more depending on the size of the planet. The smaller the planet, the better for doing this on, as it will keep the links short. So we're going to jam on a bunch here. I like to do a cool little pyramid shape. These are the advanced or high-tech production. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Just get rid of those. Try again. We want to do the advanced industry one because we're making fuel blocks here. Coolant. I'm going for coolant on this one. So we'll start placing these down. Make sure these are the coolant ones, yes. And again, it's important we get them all nice and tight together. Particularly around the launch pads, because that's where everything's coming from. So isn't this fun? This isn't even the best part yet. Alright, get these all in here. You can see where we're going with this pattern. We'll end up with another launch pad at the top for our finished goods. So I've had quite a few different designs that I've made, trying to get the most out of every planet, and this, I believe, is the best. Comment below if you think otherwise or have any suggestions on how I could improve this. But this is pretty much how I do it for all my factory planets. Hopefully we can just link all of them up. Again, depending on your planet size, you might have issues with where you can put these links and how many you can put in. But basically just fill this up now with as many links as you can. We want to make sure there's a nice clean route. You only can go 5 jumps, so whichever way you've got to go, it's got to be able to get there from here to there to here within 5 jumps. So just make sure we got everything. I don't need that one, I don't think. That should be good. Alright, so now we get to install our products. So we'll start here, and what we can do is just double click, and then where do we want it to go? We can double click here, is where we want it to go. So next one, double click, click, double click, click, no, double click, click, double click, double click, click, double click, double click. This is when the fun starts. Now we're getting somewhere. Exciting, right? Make sure you got an extra mouse or two, and don't get carpal tunnel on your thumb, because this is brutal, to be honest. And I think there could be probably a better way that CCP could do this, but I find that is one of the quickest, or probably. So, well, we have all these coolants, they're all going out to here. We don't have any feeding into any of this though. And then the best way to do that first is to load up the product. So, we're going to spend some money and make that all permanent. We're then going to get some product. So, I will put some product in the customs office and come back. Okay, and we're back. We got some stuff in our customs office. Now, if you have a spreadsheet or notepad to write some stuff down, this is where you want to start. So some magic numbers. 43,500 of each, electrolytes and water. This works for any T1 material. 43,500, this is our magic number to fill these three up. So we want to make note of which one we're doing. So we got 5R, and we've got 6R, and we've got 8T. So 5R, 6R, 8T. So under 5R we'll start with electrolytes. Since it's first, we'll make it easy. So we only can put that many in. So go ahead and put that many in. And we got 6R. We can throw the water in here. We can only put that many in, so let's throw that many in. Now, the next step is to take some of this electrolytes, and if we double click and double click, oh, I went to the wrong one. Route. We want to click on expedited transfer and then click there. There we go. And now the next magic number is 15,785. So 15,785 of a T1 material into storage. And we'll execute that, and then we'll go over here and we'll take the same amount of water, 15,785, and now we have one complete full storage unit with equal amounts of both. And now we got room back here, so this is where the rest of this water, for the most part, can go. Now that 1,400 that's left, that's going to end up filling. That's how much it'll take to fill all of these up once we get the roots. So we'll fill that up. Alright, so the first thing we want, now the order matters. So if we do a route from here to here, and then do of electrolytes, and we do a route from here to here of electrolytes, it's going to take from this one first until it's empty, and then it'll take from this one. So that's fairly important here, that we want to empty these launch pads as fast as we can, because the transfers can only happen every now and then. So the next transfer here is 4 hours and 46 minutes. I can't transfer stuff anymore, so we want to empty these first. So we always start with the launch pads, and now we're back to double clicking again. So we'll just get this out of the way for now, and start with this launch pad, and we'll start with electrolytes. So double click, click, double click, double click, click, double click, double click. If you're lucky, you can see the roots it's going to take. But as long as you got lots of links everywhere, you should have no problems. Again, it can only go 5 spots from one spot to another. So keep that in mind. If you do have to play with the links, you might have to actually upgrade a link if you're trying to put too much stuff down one link. That's more of a problem on the extractor planets, like when you're extracting materials from the planet, than on the factories. But I have had planets that were too big and I couldn't put as many links in, and it was a little bit more of a pain in the butt. So now we got all of those. We'll move over to this one and we'll do water. We'll do the same thing. So now these should fill up and change because they're actually working now. And if they're not, then you missed one with the electrolytes. So this first step's pretty easy because we get this nice reactions from the UI that shows us we're doing things right. This is new and the changes, I guess a few months ago now. Before they never had these cool effects. It was pretty hard to tell whether it was working or not. This is a lot of clicks. If anybody wants to count how many clicks this is, I'd be eager to know, because OMG. Alright, so now that's full and working. Now we go to this one. Now we do the same thing again. I'm going to start with electrolytes. Let's go back up. I guess a lot of people don't know that you can just double click, and double click by default creates a route. Oh, sorry for that. If you're unsure if you did this again, you can just do it again. It probably creates 2 routes, knowing how this game goes, but it doesn't seem to matter. I've definitely done it a few times, 2 or 3 times. I'm not sure if I missed one or not. And again with the water. Oh, don't double click on the picture. Double click on the text. Oh, where are we now? Let's start here, I guess. Double click, double click, click, double click, double click. Hooray! Now submit it before shit hits the fan. Alright, so now we have one functioning factory planet. So every 2 to 3 days you can come with 43,500 of each of these and do that same process. Just fill the electrolytes up into 5R and the water up into 6R, and then from here transfer 15,785 of each T1 material to the storage, which is the fancy number. There are 3 M3 available, but that's pretty much, it's an easy number to remember. And it fits, and then we'll end up with a whole bunch of coolant coming out the other one, which will be this one here. So you'll take your coolant out of here and drag it into here, and away you go. And that's it. And yeah, that'll run 2 or 3 days. And if we look at our power usage, we're pretty much peaked. So this extra 4%, 5% of power can get used up by these links depending on the size of your planet. And that's where you might end up with not enough power, and so you'll have to just delete a couple links and just make sure to see. If you move your mouse over all of them, you can see the different paths they're taking, and if you move the links around, they'll go different ways. But if you do delete a link, you'll have to recreate any routes that might be going through that link. So if we look at this link, there's all these products are routed through that one link. So if you delete that, you'll delete all of these routes as well. So be careful of that. But yeah, there you go. Factory Pi.